Boss TV production again. Yes, people, I will jump back on the Ras story. It's I say, people, the interview the Ras do before this interview here. It's I say, remember, you know, the man talk away, man talk out and thing, man, I mention no time in the interview to say, why you watch here. Him get beaten by the Mexican police or the warder or the thing. It's I say, he never mentioned so they lock him down and all these things. It's I say, and in this interview now, he must show signs that you get beaten. It's I say, he get locked down and all these things. People don't believe him. We can't believe him. You understand what I say? Right? I think the rest of make up certain things. You understand what I say, people? I want to listen. I want to remember back. It's I say, the interview before this. Right? Remember, you know, him don't mention no time at all say you get beaten, locked down, all these things, right? Just remember the people. And, you know, unfortunately, people, Saturday, I walk through town and the Rasta me sit downtown people and sell some little things, you know, sell some little something. You understand? I say, thumbs up to the Rasta still, because, you know, I have ambition and things. You know, I say, you know, come down and go and sit down on corner and all these things. And I said, so, you come and come back down a place and go somewhere down a town and sell some things, people. You understand what I say? Big up to the Rasta. You understand what I say? But yo, him story down straight. You understand what I say? In the interview, the last interview, people, him story just down straight, people. I don't want to listen to him, people. And remember back, view back on the interview before this, and get people. And you remember, you don't mention, see that, he might show bruises and then to show somebody and get the whole back kick up and beat up and thing to the people. Yeah, I don't say Mexican ramping the people. Yeah, man, I'm lucky. Yeah, man, people listen and observe people and try to remember back on the interview before this if you mention anything about beating or lockdown. Yeah, man.
So they simply say Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica, you're going back home. And from this, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to lose my cool and I start. I don't know what, I'm just lose it from this. Yeah, when I go to the airport now, they stop me and they ask me a couple questions and I answer them right.
Which airport you were going to?
Cancun airport.
Cancun?
Yeah. And I answer them right and correct and I show them a paper and everything. I show them say I'm coming from Panama and never have no problem why they give me. So one of them tell me to go over to the interrogation room. While I'm over there, a lot of people over there and them call me out and say, Jamaica, you're going back home.
Yes, people. I want to take in Mr. Andrew Warnes. This must be for a speech. People and me get chick. Me get fool and me get chick, people. Come here and say, yo, when man make in speech of people, I say, yes, John Star, we have a new Jamaica. This man say, we also, we people in Jamaica, we're going to rise. We poor people, we're going to rise. This man say, we are climb this damn thing, we'll be successful in our life, that people. John people, I can't even know. Them talk with the man make people, trust me. Yo, me run, go vote for the man, people. Me I tell them straight. This man say, people come here and say, yes. But yo, people, John Star, Lex, he come and say, yo, watch out, the man. Yo, the man fool, we the poor class, we get fool, we get chick. You know, someone say, because all them talk about just some people, and I know, I rehearse, I see things I get rehearsed, and I know things they talk about, we not see it happen, people. We the poor class, we are stress, pressure. Look how the man live, people. Look on the man house, yo. While we people, John Star, some of we don't know where to live, people place we catch people. You know, some say when we fall, we are bad pan and bucket on our bed because we all stop a leak. People, yo, taking what the man say, people. I don't know people a long time from video from back them people, but you don't know people. Yeah, man, I'm going to try to make you know. The speech of the man make people boost up our heart and say, yes, things going to be different. We have a new Jamaica people. Just taking it to people and just, yo, general people. Understand what me I say, people. You understand what I say? Yeah, man, big up on yourself, people. Loving the people, take care of yourself.
The Labour Party believe that every poor man must build his castle. Every poor man must build him big house. And we not grudge you for it. We are going to help you to achieve that. That is why we say education for free, health for free, and we must make the place secure so you can live and enjoy yourself.
Yes, people, you hear what I say? Right? Education must be free. Health must be free, people. But where it is, eh? Education are free, people. See, say school fee, you have to pay how much money for school fee and for education, people. You know that, people. And health, general people, like our public people, are send to certain places, people go to certain tests. Seeing, and it cost you how over $50,000 for do all tests by your body, test my body, people. Yeah, man. You see me say, all what the man talk about, people, all I know we can't see it. All I know we can't see it. We are under pressure. Yeah, man. For real. Everything what the man talk about, yeah, the things the man talk about, people, trust me. Yo, people, we not see it happen. For real, people. You don't know. Man, I show man, you know, people. But yo, babe, I feel small, people. Right now, I feel I can't even know people. I can't even feel so embarrassed. I feel so, you know, I feel let down. I feel, you know, I feel like I feel like the man just, you know, channel star. I feel defeated that way, people. Honest, I feel defeated because you don't know. When I say why your man make entirely, I say, boy, yo, Ray, and you know, you look up to the man, people. So when the man make the speech to people and we not see it, yo, we feel like we defeated, people. Like so, you know, yo, channel star. We've been chick.
This is the house, built on 3/4 of an acre, complete with stone-cut wall, in the exclusive Beverly Hills neighborhood just outside Kingston. It's a huge upgrade from where Jamaica's newest Prime Minister and then opposition leader Andrew Holness says he was born.
I was born in a 2-bedroom board house at 56 Cumberland Road in a Spanish town. My father is still a farmer and my mother is a retired civil servant.
Property records showed the Beverly Hills land was purchased by St. Lucian-based company AdMat Incorporated for $300,000 in 2011, 3 months before Holness became Prime Minister of Jamaica for the first time, and when he was Minister of Education. There's no mortgage listed. In a statement, Holness says he's the sole director of AdMat and a shareholder, along with his 2 sons, Adam and Matthew. Holness says he got the money from funds in his accounts at 2 of Jamaica's investment banks and used his savings, salary, loans and credit from suppliers established through his wife, who is a real estate developer, to build the house, costing him approximately $52 million, or around $525,000 US. He says the St. Lucian structure was used for estate planning. His attorney, Patrick Bailey, says there's that and the additional potential benefit of avoiding transfer taxes.
If the house at Beverly Hills is the only asset and he was selling it, he would simply sell the company, sell the shares. The company would have its shareholding transferred from him and his children to the new purchasers, whereas the title would remain unchanged because the new purchaser will be the owners of AdMat and be the owners of the property. So in that case, there's no transfer from one entity to another. So you save on transfer tax and stamp duties and those sorts of things.
Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says the leader of the country shouldn't be trying to avoid taxes.
Especially if you're a prime minister and you're telling your citizens that they need to conform to the regulatory environment that you have designed, that you do not think you can adhere to, because it is inimical to your interest to adhere to it, or inimical to the interest of your children's future to adhere to it, then there is a major, there's a major inconsistency there that you need to explain.
Join us in a partnership for prosperity. Let's change Jamaica for the better. Choose prosperity.
Does he own other entities in there, in AdMat?
In AdMat?
Yeah.
I think he has at least one other property in AdMat.
And where is that?
That is in somewhere in the Arcadia area. Right.
And that's considered land or also?
Some as an apartment. Actually, he's now in the process of selling that unit. He owes suppliers, because suppliers gave him credit for the house he's building in Beverly Hills.
And the source of funds for that was what?
That one, I can't recall all of those details, but I seem to remember that he has always used the house that he lives in and get loans and that sort of thing.
We checked the title for the property where Bailey says both Honus and his wife lived at the time of our interview and found no additional loans or mortgages other than those originally taken out in 2002 when they bought the house for 7 million Jamaican dollars, around 144,000 US dollars back then.
So you were satisfied then with the source of the funds in both cases?
Oh, absolutely, 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 absolutely.
We checked the title for the Acadia property and found that it was indeed purchased by the same St. Lucian company, ADMAT Incorporated, in 2008, again when Honus was Minister of Education. The price tag, 16 million Jamaican dollars, around 219,000 US back then, and again, no mortgage was listed. Further, we also checked whether ADMAT owned additional properties and found one more. A half-acre lot, also bought in Beverly Hills on Wycliffe Close in February 2009, also when Honus was Minister of Education, price tag, around 15 million Jamaican dollars, almost 173,000 US dollars, and again, no mortgage listed.
So you've never heard of this Wycliffe Close property before today?
Let me put it this way. I have never handled, and when I look at the transfer, I see the names of lawyers who I know. And he's entitled to have more than one lawyer. We all have to eat.
So all told, when it comes to properties, there's the Great House Boulevard home that Honus and his wife bought with a mortgage while Honus was a mere member of Parliament, and in the 4 years he was Minister of Education, earning the equivalent of around 60,000 US dollars per year, or 90,000 with allowances. There was the Arcadia apartment, no mortgage listed. The land at Wycliffe Close in Beverly Hills, no mortgage listed. The land for the Shenstone Beverly Hills house he's building, no mortgage listed. And around 525,000 US dollars spent building the house in the 3 years after Honus's Jamaica Labour Party lost the election in 2011. Honus, through a member of his team, said he wouldn't comment on the source of funds for any of his properties before the election, but even after, he didn't. He also said he would make his financial statement public at the end of March 2016, but he didn't.
We will again reduce transfer taxes, stamp duties, and estate taxes.
Some of our initial checks in the 2 weeks before the election, the house in Beverly Hills had an outstanding balance since 2013 on the tax administration's website. Amount, about $174,000 or US $1,400 approximately. Property taxes on the Wycliffe Close land in Beverly Hills were listed as not having been paid since 2009, a total of about $175,000 or US around $1,400. And the Great House Boulevard home that he owned with his wife Juliette, that was listed as outstanding since 2014, owing Jamaicans $64,000 or about 526 US dollars. All in, Honus or his entities were listed at the time as owing almost 413,000 Jamaican dollars, around 3,400 US dollars. It wasn't clear if there were any amounts owing for the apartment at Arcadia Drive. Before the election, the tax administration's website reflected zero balances for the 2 Beverly Hills properties at Shenstone Drive and Wycliffe Close. However, taxes on the house he owns with his wife were still listed as owing as of our last check, March 18th, 2016, even as he became Prime Minister of Jamaica for a second time.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica.
Where is the economy going? Have you done any analysis of your tax plan and what economic growth is going to look like in your first year?
I wouldn't want to give you a specific figure.
But your analysis must have produced something that is tangible for the people to understand.
Yeah, but I didn't say I would give you that figure.
But it has produced a figure.
Of course.
Okay.
Otherwise, why would we do the analysis?
Give me a general sense of where we have on the low and the top end.
I would say to you that if you're going to talk about economic growth, you should be above 3%.
Okay. That's a fair statement to make. Let's talk about some of the other taxes that you, tax incentives and lower rates. And
so
I think there was mention of some transfer taxes as
so
well.
In general, you want to, our tax plan is to reduce transaction taxes. A part of economic growth is to get the velocity of transactions increasing, and particularly in construction and real estate, because those are major employment areas. So we will bring to the levels which we had them before our transfer tax and stamp duties, and estate taxes as well.
You seem to don't like taxes too much because
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm a small government, free enterprise person. I believe that markets work best and taxes are distortionary.
Okay. Is that why you didn't pay the property taxes on the home?
No, my property taxes are paid.
On the THS website, when we did the valuation numbers for your properties, the outstanding taxes are there.
No, my taxes are paid.
When we looked, there was your Great House Boulevard property. There was your property that's owned by ADMAT, which you say you're the sole director of. And then there's another property that we actually found under ADMAT as well up at Wycliffe Close. All three were outstanding. And then we saw that at Wycliffe Close, taxes seem to have been outstanding since 2009. What about the other property, though, at Wycliffe Close?
That I would have to check on. I mean, that's been there for a little while, so I'll have to check on. But I don't want to distract from the message.
No, but you are the person that's saying that you don't necessarily love taxes, yeah?
Yeah.
And so you are the lead. You are a leader of this country, potentially the premier leader of this country come next week. And so I'm asking you the question, as the leader of a country, do you believe that your taxes should have been more up to date than the record reflects?
What I'm saying to you, from my best recollection, I've paid my taxes. Now, if it is that they are outstanding, it's not an issue to pay them.
Okay.
I'm not hiding from taxes.
But ADMAT is designed for you to avoid potential estate taxes and transfer taxes.
No, it's designed for estate planning purposes.
For estate planning purposes, that means basically that you avoid some sort of taxes. And I'm saying, does it look good for a leader of a country?
I'm not clear that it's, when we set it up, it was never to avoid any kind of taxes. And it's not likely that I would be able to sell everything. It was set up merely as a way of holding assets. So it's a holding company. That's it. But in any event, let's be clear. Any citizen of any country is permitted. It's not illegal to establish, and many persons have.
No doubt. I'm not talking about the legality. I'm more talking about, does it look good for a leader to be trying to set up their situation so that they avoid paying tax?
No. Any company can, I think, avoid being in a situation. Look, my view on the matter is this. You should plan your estate and plan for taxes the best way possible.
You just said a while ago that you don't see a sense where you would be able to sell everything. What's everything? What's everything?
No, you mentioned two properties.
Right.
Yeah.
There's Wycliffe Close, which is an open land right now.
Look, we'll talk again.
No, one thing I wanted to ask you
you've
about.
You've gone over the 10 minutes.
Hold on, Mr. Honest. Mr. Honest, I must ask you a question. Can you give me a sense of who Robert Garvin is?
He's the company secretary, but what's the issue?
What's your relationship with him?
Corruption will not be tolerated in this government.
The property at Wycliffe Close in Beverly Hills remains an open lot today. As it turns out, the owner, Andrew Honus's ADMAT Incorporated, applied to the National Environmental Planning Agency to build townhouses in 2010, but that application was turned down. Representing ADMAT in this application was one Robert Garvin.
Robert Garvin is not a director in any way, shape, or form of ADMAT.
No, man, he's not.
But why would Robert Garvin's name then appear on an application to the land development?
Because he's acting as agent, he's doing the process. That's not unusual.
According to company's office records. Robert Garvin is or was a director of other entities affiliated with Andrew or Juliet Honus: Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, Sunshine Mobile, West Central St. Andrew Trust Limited, Omega Bridge Finance, and the now removed Delito Taxi Service.
Who is Robert Garvin?
Garvin?
Robert Garvin.
Never met the name, never heard the name. But I do remember Positive. But I did set up Positive Jamaica, I remember that.
Right, but he's
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Positive Jamaica is in part a director by Garvin.
I know he was a director of
And by the way, one
to
more
set up.
thing. What about the fact that Garvin used this address, 28 Herb McKinley?
Because this is my address, it's precisely what I'm saying. You're at 28 McKinley, you know?
I know, so
Yeah.
why Robert Garvin used it and you...
Because we set up the company here. Garvin, I'm not saying that. I don't remember the name.
Separately, Robert Garvin is also listed as the director of Westkin Construction, along with one Donovan Simpson. Garvin used the address 25 Dominica Drive while setting up Westcon, the same address he and Honus used when registering West Central St. Andrew Trust Limited. Government records show Westkin Construction as receiving 14 government contracts, totaling 28.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around 386,000 US dollars. This was between 2006 and 2009, even as Honus or his wife shared directorships with Garvin on 4 entities. 12 of the 14 contracts were under the JLP government, with which Honus has a career-long affiliation. 9 of the 14 list 0 or only 1 tender. 10 of the 14 were granted by the Minister of Education when Andrew Honus was minister, and by the National Works Agency and Social Development Commission for work in Honus's constituency. Honus even instructed the Social Development Commission to pay Westkin Construction just under 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around US $21,000 back then. He signed the document himself. There was only one bidder for cleaning, bushing and trimming of the roadways in Honus's constituency of West Central St. Andrew, and no procurement committee approval. Payment was requested by Honus December 20th, 2007, and paid promptly on the same day. When contacted in a general sense, the current Social Development Commission head, Dwayne Vernon, said, while not the norm, it is possible to have a request and payment on the same day, especially when there's a contract in place with stated payment dates. Vernon, who didn't address this contract specifically, also said, the SDC does not procure for constituencies. This is the prerogative of the MP and his or her project officer. Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says, awarding of government contracts in Jamaica has been a long-standing cause for concern.
When each side is in government, there are uncomfortable levels of awarding of contracts to persons who are either political supporters, campaign financiers, or other connected parties.
We asked Honus whether he declared his relationship with Garvin while contracts were being awarded to Westkin Construction, but he didn't get back to us. We called Garvin, but he said he couldn't talk at the time, and he didn't answer our text message. When contacted, Garvin's partner in Westkin Construction, Donovan Simpson, he tried to distance himself from the inner workings of the company.
I don't know where are these projects. I don't know how much were collected.
So you didn't benefit from these contracts, that's what you're saying?
No.
Even though his name is not on the filing, is Andrew Honus a part of this company?
No, not to my knowledge. No, man, he's not a part of it.
Do you know if Garvin is a friend of Andrew Honus?
People.
Yes, yeah, man, they are friends. They are very
people.
close. So from the two of us,
Mr. Andrew was our Prime Minister will love.
Andrew went in politics.
In question.
I met him at Tiaga's office because Robert and Tiaga were very close also.
Okay.
So the first time I saw Andrew is when Robert invited me to the Tiaga's office in New Kingston.
We searched, but could find no record of Honus declaring his relationship with Robert Garvin or Donovan Simpson. And the Office of the Contractor General would only say that we should request an investigation, which we did.
In the procurement rules and guidelines that I've read, there's been a concern about whether there is a connection either directly, meaning you have an interest in a company that's bidding for public assets and public benefits, or indirectly, meaning it's in the name of a wife, in the name of a girlfriend, in the name of a child, in the name of an associate. It's a duty of all staff and any other public officers and officials directly or indirectly involved in the procurement process, especially in the preparation of bidding documents, evaluation, contract negotiations, contract management and payments, to declare any potential conflicts of interest.
Whether Honus declared his relationship with Garvin remains unclear.